Cabo is a beautiful place and one of the principal tourist destinations in Mexico. But as a foreigner, you might experience some difficulties, or maybe you are not sure what you expect. Thus, in this video, we'd like to share some tips with you regarding price, transport, tours, and other tips to make your Cabo visit amazing. As Mexicans, we hope to provide you with useful information for your trip. So amigos, welcome to this video.
The first challenge upon arrival is how the heck am I gonna get out of the airport? And the options depends on how many of you are traveling and how many luggage you bring with you. As we know, airport taxi fares are quite expensive, especially in the tourist areas, and Cabo is not an exception. If you're a foreigner, it'd be best to try to book your transport with your travel agency or ask directly to the hotel if they have any options. For example, Rio Hotel, that's located in Cabo San Lucas, about an hour away from the airport, charges 432 pesos for 2 persons, which is roughly $25, which is very cheap. So consider asking your hotel. Another cheap option is to take the airport bus called La Ruta del Desierto, which translates to the desert route. The bus stop is at your left, exiting the airport terminal. For just 90 pesos per person, which is about $4, you can get to the tourist hotel zone with stops in various interest points, including hotels like Hyatt, Cristal, Decameron, and even the hotel zone in Cabo San Lucas for about $10, with stops in hotels like Rio. Although consider that the bus stops are not necessarily inside the hotel, so if you bring a lot of luggage, it's probably not that convenient. For example, from the bus stop to Hyatt or Decameron, you need to walk about 5 to 10 minutes, while the bus stop from Cristal Hotel is almost just crossing the street. So this option is to travel on a budget, or maybe if you want an adventure, and get a taste of local daily life, since many locals also take this bus. Oh, and it also has air conditioning. A related issue is how will you move within the city. And the same bus, La Ruta del Desierto, is a good option. It has bus stops along the tourist area and on beaches such as Palmilla, Costa Azul, Chileno, among others. The prices of the bus vary depending if you're exiting the airport or if you take the bus along its route. For example, we took the bus from our hotel in San Jose del Cabo to Cabo San Lucas for only 40 pesos per person, which is about $2. The schedules they have are from 4:30 in the morning to 10 p.m., although it may vary on Sundays or holidays, so you can ask a local or at your hotel or Airbnb. They might give you a more precise information. Another option is to use Uber. Although be careful, not all the hotels allow Ubers to enter. In our case, our hotel had no problem. We actually used Uber to return to the airport. On our way back to our city, Uber prices are fixed, so people won't scam you. Not everyone, but some taxis see tourists as walking ATMs, so they might try to charge you higher prices.
Before booking your reservation, you need to know that Cabo is actually divided into two places, San Jose del Cabo and Cabo San Lucas, and they are completely different. So it depends on what type of vacation you like, maybe quiet and relaxing, or if you want to maybe go partying to bars or other. Cabo San Lucas. Well, start thinking about Cabo San Lucas. When you arrive to La Marina, you find a beautiful port where you can find a variety of yachts, cruises and boats that are ideal to take you on a tour to Los Arcos or any beach in Cabo San Lucas. You'll also find many vendors who speak English that will offer you tours at many prices. There are also Mexican and international restaurants, seafood, bars, pharmacies, malls, discos, and more. While walking in La Marina, you can observe the port and lovely colorful fish. We even phonograph. You can also rent an aquatic taxi, bicycle taxi, and more. And there's many stands with tours to other beaches like Balandra and La Paz.
In contrast with Cabo San Lucas, San Jose del Cabo is a more chilled place, with colorful streets and restaurants. There you can enjoy a walk and take some pictures. We visited Plaza Mijares in the historic center on Thursday to check out the cultural art market where local artists showed their paintings. Also, locals, craftsmen, and other people install food stands, art, jewelry, and other crafts. You can also find some pharmacies, gift shops, and international and Mexican restaurants, an old historic church, Misión de San Jose del Cabo, and some cool letters to take some photos. So before booking, you should try to choose what type of experience you're looking for. In our case, we wanted to just relax, so we stayed in San Jose del Cabo. But speaking with some guests at our hotel, they were expecting something else. Since the place was too quiet for them, also consider that San Jose del Cabo is where the airport is at. They say if you haven't visited Los Arcos, it's like not visiting Cabo at all. For that, you need to get to La Marina. Among your options is an Uber. The price will vary from where you take it. Since we were in the hotel zone in San Jose del Cabo, the price was between 450 and 700 pesos, a single trip, about $25 to $35. But we took a cheaper route using the desert route bus, which cost us only 40 pesos, about $2 per person. We booked with a local travel agency called Sin Postal, and the price of the tour was 350 pesos per person, about $21 per person. Considering that it was a 45-minute tour, where we visited Los Arcos, some rocky formations, the Pirates Cave, and some beaches like the Empacadora, El Balconcito, El Pelícano, La Playa del Amor y El Divorcio, which translates to the beach of love and divorce. We also had the option to stay at any beach of our choice and stay there as much as we like. So we stayed at the beach of love. This beach is known to be the last part of the Cortez Sea and collides with the divorce beach where the Pacific Ocean begins. In case you don't have a tour book, at the port of La Marina, there's lots of vendors offering services like a transparent boat to see the fish and marina life. You can rent a private boat and yachts at different prices, and we also were offered some tours that cost only 100 pesos, which is about $5. Since we weren't sure how real that was, we opted to book with the travel agency. It's important to always ask the conditions regarding any service. For example, if you take the transparent boat, you don't get the option to stay at any beach. Also, before taking any tour service or product, ask about the prices and nuances of the deal, since some people try to scam tourists.
Now, regarding the beaches, we talk about the one we chose, which is the Love Beach or Playa del Amor. It's considered a paradise ideal to swim with calm waters and crystal waters. If you walk across, you will find the Divorce Beach, where you will be welcomed by the Pacific Ocean with big strong waves and currents and dark water, and it's not allowed to swim. These beaches were named due to their contrasting features and a legend that tells the story of two lovers from the 18th century. A Japanese sailor was rescued by a woman and both fell in love. But the father of the woman did not agree with the relation and in an outrage attacked the sailor, which eventually died. The young woman decided that life was no worth without her lover and decided to reunite with him on the other side. Thus the name of the beach of love as an homage of the tragic story. Considering this lovely story, we stayed at this beach for an hour just watching the waves, the cruise, taking pictures, and enjoying the sun. We also found beautiful shells that, of course, we returned them to where we found them after admiring them. As mentioned before, you can swim in all these beaches, and some are good for snorkeling and just to enjoy yourself with food and drinks. There's lots of fish and seagulls that honor the beach name. Upon arrival to El Arco, we took some photos, but you can only stay a couple of minutes since other boats are in line. In case you decide to stay at the beach, remember to take your sandals, extra clothes, towels, drinks, and snacks, and maybe something to block the sun. In the beach, there's people selling drinks and reading shade umbrellas, but the prices are quite expensive, since a regular beer costs $5. For some foreigners, they might believe it's cheap, but in fact, for this price, you can get a six-pack any 7-Eleven or convenience store. Also consider tips. Upon boarding the boat, there are people that help you. Do you so expect a tip? They don't even ask, just approach you. And there is also a board fee that might not be included in your tour price. We had to pay it, but it was only 15 pesos per person, less than $1.
And speaking about the beach, something important to know is that you cannot swim in any beach near the hotels. It's open sea with strong currents and potentially dangerous sea life, for example the Portuguese man-o-war jellyfish, which we personally hadn't experienced during the travel. This is something not many people know, so you need to ask the locals and travel to maybe one of the beaches at the tour or other beaches in the town like Palmilla o Médano or Chileno, which are more suited to swim. But you also have to be careful. A lifeguard told us that these beaches where you can swim are swimmable because of natural barriers that block the strong currents and waves. But sometimes even there you can find the man-o-war jellyfish, so just be careful as usual, like you always have to be when you visit nature. Despite this, marine life and the sea is beautiful, with jumping stingrays, birds, and huge waves that will blow your mind. We're sure about that. Cabo is very beautiful, but it's not a tropical. It's not the Caribbean Sea. It's a desertic environment which has its own beauty and it's worth visiting. The sun is extra spicy here, so bring your sunblocker and appropriate sun protection. Although we notice foreigners love to be under the sun a lot, just consider your skin health. Now, prices in general in Cabo are quite expensive. And yes, it's expected in tourist areas, but here prices are labeled in USD. And actually that might be a benefit for you. It's really common here that you can buy any product, not only from vendors but also stores and malls accept and tag prices in American dollars. But the consequences of that is that products are at least 3 times more expensive. For example, I bought a sun hat or sombrero at my home city for only 120 pesos, which is about $6. And here you get them starting from 400 up to 700 pesos, which is about $20 to $35, and they are the same. We saw keychains being sold at $8 when a keychain is at most $3 in any other tourist destination. We understand it's a tourist area, but if you travel to other places like Puerto Vallarta, Nayarit, or maybe go to Mexico City or Puebla, prices are not that high and they are also tourist destinations. But you still can get affordable souvenirs We actually bought some magnetic souvenirs for refrigerators from a street vendors in La Marina that cost us only 50 pesos, when in a store they were priced at $8 to $10 each. So try to ask the local vendors about the prices and don't hesitate to negotiate with them, since many already are tripling the price. Another option is at the supermarkets, like Walmart type. We went to the supermarket called La Comer and found sun hats in 200 pesos, caps, cloths in general, souvenirs, tequila glasses, and more at reasonable prices. And don't worry, it's the exact same thing they're selling outside. Regarding food and drinks, we stayed in an all-inclusive hotel, so we didn't buy much outside, but we saw that at many restaurants, drinks were quite expensive. We saw margaritas being sold at $10. Maybe as a foreigner you think this is not expensive, but consider this is Mexico. These are prices you usually get at high-end restaurants here. We also spoke to a foreigner at our hotel who told us that they sold him a beer during a tour at $12. For us, that was a ripoff. Something that may be uncomfortable for us is the amount of vendors that will approach you trying to sell something. One day we were at the supermarket buying stuff, and during our shop a guy just approached us and offered us a tour. We were surprised since this is the first time something like that happened to us. We travel a bit around Mexico. We try to travel at least 2 times a year, and we never experienced something like this. But in general, they don't harass you, they are kind people, so just kindly decline, and most don't even insist that much. As an extra tip, on your trip back to your country, try to eat before arriving at the airport, since the options are quite limited there. Cabo Airport has only few options. Among them was a Panda Express, a Subway, and another restaurant. But if you have a flight connection to Mexico City, there the airport has way more restaurants, way more options, but consider that the prices at airports are high. But there are 7-Elevens there inside where you can get cheap pizza and sandwiches if you're on a budget.
Amigos, thanks a lot for watching this video. We hope that these tips are useful for your trip and know what to expect and enjoy your trip to Cabo. If you have visited before and have other useful advice, please share it in the comments. We'd love to read them. See you in the next one.